this video, I'm going to be going through sending email from your WordPress website. Now, you might be sending emails for password resets or sending out downloadable links if you're using WooCommerce, for instance, and sometimes they just don't get sent. So I'm going to be going through ways of getting that sorted out in this video. Hi, my name is Jason Kruger and I help heart-centered businesses build and automate their online marketing systems. Now, as I said, sometimes you do need to send emails from your WordPress website, and this normally takes the form of password resets or downloadable links if you're selling digital products through WooCommerce, for instance. Now, sometimes they will get sent, but a lot of the times I've seen where people are expecting those emails to be sent out and they're not being sent out. And one of the causes is normally to do with your hosting account. There are settings that you might need to change to get that to work. But even if you do get that to work, the issue you're going to have is that it's going to be coming from an email address that's not yours. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes it might be WordPress at siteground.yoursiteurl.com, for instance. Now, that doesn't look very professional if you're sending out password resets for your membership site, or if you're sending out receipts from WooCommerce or downloadable links for that matter. So how do you change this? Well, I'm going to be going through a plugin that I install on my sites and on my client sites, where sending out these emails are part of their site and they do need this to work. So let's go into my desktop and I'll show you on my demo site. So here we are in my demo site, and the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to have to install a plugin. Now, the plugin that I normally install to do this is done here at the bottom. I already have it installed and it's called WP Mail SMTP. And this is done by WP Forms. Now, WP Forms is a company by WP Beginner, where they create lots of different plugins for WordPress, and this is just one of them. So if you go and you just search for WP Mail SMTP, and just make sure you download the one from WP Forms and get that installed and activated on your site. Now, once you have that installed and activated, you'll have this other option here on the left hand side. So if I just click on it and go to the settings, you'll just see in here that they do have a pro version of it. But if you're not sending out a lot of emails, then you don't need to upgrade to the pro version. And but if you want to, you can. It does give you a few extra features, but I've never had to pay for it. I just use the free version. So what you could do is you can go through their setup wizard. So if I just go through that with you now, we can go in there and just click on Get Started. And then you can choose which service that you want. Now, the two that they recommend is smtp.com and Sendinblue. Now, if I go to smtp.com first, you do get a free trial, and that's for 30 days. And then after that, their lowest plan is $25 per month. Now, if you're not sending out a lot of emails, $25 is a bit steep. Now, if I go to the other one, Sendinblue, now with this one, they do have a free plan and you can send up to 300 emails per day. So if you are wanting to use a third-party service like this, then yes, Sendinblue is a great option. So you just need to sign up and then get the details to connect to your site from there. So now if I just go back to the site, the other options in here is Mailgun, SendGrid, Gmail. Now you can use Gmail if you are a Gmail user, or if you're using Google Suite or Google Workplace, as it's called now, I think. You could use that, Amazon, Outlook, but that's only in their pro version, Zoho Mail or other SMTP. Now, the one that I normally use because I either host the sites for my clients or they're my own sites, I just use other SMTP because I already have a way of sending out emails. And then just click on save and continue. Now, this is where you could put in your details. So if you have set up your site on a host like SiteGround, for example, where you can set up emails, I would set up a dedicated email address for this, so that you know that the emails are going to be sent out from your site using that email address. And then you can just get in all the server details and enter them all in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of this because I don't have those details with me at the moment. So let's just go straight to the beginning again. So that's one way that you can do it. If you just go through the whole of the setup wizard, we didn't go through the whole setup because I don't have those details. But if you don't go through that, you can still set it up manually. So you can set up your from email address. You can also have the from email name, and you can force that name as well. You can set the return path. So if someone does want to reply to the email, you can make sure that that's set up, and you just need to tick that. And just at the bottom here, this is where you will choose your services. So if I go back to this other SMTP in here, you can see I can put in all my details of the host name in there, the port that it might be using, if it's using authentication, and the username and password. And this is why I would set up a dedicated email address just to be used for your site. You can then also set up a forwarder so that if someone does reply to that email address, it gets forwarded to one of your other email addresses. So it's not another inbox that you need to worry about. Once you've done that, just click on Save Settings. And you can also then send a test email. So if you just click on Send Test, so we go to Email Test, we can then select the email address we want to send it to, and then we can just click on Send Email, and then you will receive that email in your inbox. And if you do receive it, then you know that all the settings are correct. If you don't and there's an error message, then just go through that process. Most of the time, it's just going to be that you haven't got the host details set correctly. So that's how I set up email for my WordPress website. It's a great plugin. I've never had any issues with it. And my clients' sites that use WooCommerce, for instance, if they're selling products, all their emails go through this service so that it is branded to their URL, to their business, and it does look so much more professional. And you can also make sure that the emails are being sent to your customer. You can look at the logs as well to make sure that it has been sent. Now, you might need the pro version to do that, but if you're not too worried about that, especially if you're only having a couple of sales, you're just starting out, then you don't need the pro version. Just start off with the free version. And down the line, if you are sending out a lot more emails and you need these other features to double check everything, then you can go and upgrade at that point. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial today. And if you have, and you think it might be useful to you and maybe other videos that I create in the future, then please look to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell as well, so that you get notified when I next go live or when I next post a video. So I hope to see you on the next one.